So the newest episode of Supergirl really had some awesome moments, such as when the whole team was fighting together, but it also had some really lame moments. And so We Can Be Heroes was an odd episode because it's sort of wishy-washy. It had some of the great aspects from season 2 in it, but it also had some of the terrible aspects from season 1. And one of the terrible aspects, of course, the main villain of this episode, Livewire is not a good villain. She's very cheesy, very corny. And it's not that Supergirl isn't that. Supergirl is probably the most corny of all the CW shows. And we come to expect a certain level of Supergirlness in every episode. But at the same time, Livewire just is not an interesting villain. And she's the main focus of this episode. So her whole character in this episode seems out of place. Livewire basically begins the episode. Livewire breaks out of prison, and Mon-El and Kara are trying to track her down. Eventually they track her down, and it turns out it's not her that's causing all this trouble fighting these police officers. They're actually doppelgangers. And so Mon-El and Kara, or rather not doppelgangers, but people with the same abilities as her. So Mon-El and Kara start fighting, and Kara basically says, okay, Mon-El, you need to go defend the police officers. So he grabs the car door and is defending them. But he abandons his post because he wants to save Kara. Because we figure out that this episode, the real reason Mon-El is wanting to be a hero is so he can get closer to Kara. So he does this, and then Guardian shows up, and Guardian takes the blast, and James gets knocked out. Well, Kara discovers who Guardian really is, and she's furious because, James has been hiding this from her all this time, and she wants him to give it up. But there's not really time for a discussion about that, because right after this, Wynn actually figures out the real location of where Livewire is being kept by this scientist who we never get a name of. And I searched IMDb, and we still don't get a name of him. But he's basically trying to make super soldiers out of Livewire. So they find his facility, Guardian, and Mon-El overheard Wynn telling James, of course, about it. So Guardian and Mon-El burst into the facility and try to beat him up. But they get taken down. But eventually Kara shows up, and they have this epic moment where they're all fighting all these different Livewire wannabes, basically, and the scientist, and it's really epic. And Kara, in the end, shows, the Kara Danvers we've come to know. She's very compassionate, and she shows that here because she lets Livewire go. And after this, she's still mad about James for hiding everything, and she doesn't think he should do it. So James and Wynn leave, and there's sort of a bad note, which I didn't like that, because I like things to be resolved in an episode, not stretched plot or arcs to be stretched, because they tend not to be so great whenever they're about arguments between characters. And also, she's still unsure with Mon-El. Like, there's a moment where you totally were like, they should probably be kissing, or Kara should admit she had feelings for him too. But they're stretching out their romantic plot, which is sort of annoying. But all that being said, there were some cool developments this episode, and some good character developments, because we got to see Kara and Mon-El sort of. Mon-El finally expressed his feelings to Kara, even if we didn't get the conclusion of that. We got to see James and Kara sort of have that breakdown of their relationship, and even Wynn and Kara, and it will be cool to see how they build that back up. And the subplot was actually the best part of this episode. We got to see John finally mind meld with Megan so he could save her, and so they're sharing these memories, and there's this powerful scene with both of them, and it's really well done. And I feel like the Martian plot of this episode actually uplifts this episode higher than I would have rated it before, because Sean Jones is just such a cool character, and it was really cool to see him do the mind meld with Megan. So overall, We Can Be Heroes had its moments. It had that wonderful character development I talked about. It had the wonderful Martian subplot I talked about. It had a lot going for it, but also it had faulty core, which of course is Livewire. She's a very cookie cutter villain. So I'd have to give We Can Be Heroes an 8.1 for its entertainment value, because it could have been done better, but at the same time it was a really enjoyable episode.